Everybody say, all I want is you. And all I crave is you. Come on, lift your hands up. All I want is you. All I want. I tried other things, but they didn't satisfy me. Yeah, all I want is you. Yeah, all I want is you. And all I crave is. Our time is up. I'm desperate.
Come on, lift your hands. Everyone stand. Let's have prayer. Come on, there's a sound that goes with prayer. Come on, everyone, open your mouth and begin to release your own individual sounds. We honor you, we magnify you. You're God, you're great, you're excellent, you're holy, you're magnificent, and there is no one like you. We just came to say thank you for being our God. Thank you for being the one that healed us. Thank you for being the one that saved us. Thank you for being the one that delivered us. Thank you for just being God. Have your way on tonight. Speak loud and clear. Let purpose and destiny be released in the room. Let it come across the airwaves, God. Let your will be done. Clap your hands and tell the Lord, let your will be done. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Let me give you a couple of announcements. So don't forget, next Tuesday is going to be a prayer day for us. And it's Valentine's Day. So don't be at home sitting sad. Come to prayer. All right. Next Wednesday, to all the men in the building, we're going to be in this building on Wednesday at 6:30. I need all the men to meet me right here. The men's health challenge, they're working out together. That's starting on March the 1st. And don't forget, what else we got here? We have a few open positions that if you qualify for them, everybody say the word qualify. Amen. We're not going to hire you because you're a member. Amen. You have to have the skill set to do the job. See, please pay attention to that. All right. Listen, we are actually going to be taking 40 students on a HBCU tour. 40 students. You're going to hear me soon. I'm going to begin to collect an offering because we have a few that need to be sponsored. It's, I think, like a 6 or 7 day tour, and they're going to go to like 5 different HBCUs. To get that whole experience. And we want to probably get the church to help some of them out, all right? So listen, at the end of the month on the 24th, Anna Hannah and I will be celebrating 30 years of marriage. 30 years of marriage, and we're going to have a celebration at the old post office. We want you to get your tickets. You all know me, I believe in having fun. So we're going to have a great time. Everybody say, welcome home, Valencia. So we want them to come back, and they're going to give us another song. And yeah, one more. Everybody say one more song. We want to go back up in worship, and then immediately after that, we have our guest here, and we're going to receive a lot of information. Come on, y'all. Can y'all give the praise team a hand? Some of them we haven't seen. And we're Lisa. Hey, everybody. Come on, let's go up.
Somebody shout hallelujah. Hallelujah. Bless your name, God. Bless your name, God. Bless your name, God. We lift our hands. We lift our voice. We celebrate our champion. We sing hallelujah for the King who reigns victorious. You're my hero, my Superman. You're my hero. You're my hero. Say, you're my hero, my Superman. You're my hero. You're my hero. You're my hero, my Superman. You're my hero. The day, na da 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 da. You always save the day. Come on, y'all remember that? Say, oh, you always save the day. Yeah, yeah. You always save the day. Oh, you saved the day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You saved the day. Can y'all help me say it? Say you saved the day. Say you saved the day. Oh, you saved. You always come in and save my day. You saved the day. So we give you glory, glory and honor. Worthy is God our Father. Glory, glory and honor. For worthy is God. We worship you. Holy One. We worship you. Somebody bow before the throne of God. this nation. Touch this generation with the Holy. Come on. Hey, we return to you. Fasting and singing. Oh my Lord, you're returning. We are your between porch and off. We are your between porch and off. We are your between porch and off. Pour out your pour. We shout. We lift the bar. Let your kingdom come. We dance. We shout. We lift the bar. Let the kingdom come. We dance. We shout. We lift the bar. Let the kingdom come. We dance. We shout. We lift the bar. Let the kingdom come down. Kingdom come down. That's what we want, Jesus. Kingdom come down. Kingdom come down. Kingdom come down.
Can everyone lift your hands and say that? Kingdom.
Kingdom come down.
Come on, all of us that want God to do something special. Kingdom come down. Everybody say,
Kingdom come down.
Kingdom.
Kingdom come down.
Everybody say, Kingdom.
Kingdom come down. On earth as it is in heaven.
One more time. Kingdom.
In heaven. Come down. On earth as it is.
Now lift your hands and open your mouth and begin to welcome him into your personal space. Come on, you welcome him into your personal space. Clap your hands and tell the Lord you're welcome. Clap your hands and tell the Lord you're welcome. Listen, we believe in the power of love and introduction. Do me a favor, everyone go to 3 to 5 people that you don't know. You can either hug them, or high five them, or shake their hand and introduce yourself. Hello, my name is. Come on, hello, my name is. Come on, introduce yourself. Hello, my name is. It's a formal introduction. Renee, sit down. So I'm excited this month. We all know that we've been doing this for years. Every February, during Black History Month, we try to bring in some people to speak to you, to pour into you, and to share their life's journey. And tonight, I'm excited to have a young man with us that will speak to you. How many of y'all know that God has something greater for you? Greater for you. How many of y'all believe that where you're working at right now is not your permanent location? And how many of y'all just believe that God has so much more for you? So I'm a firm person that believes that God will literally put you in the room with someone so that you can hear what your future looks like, so that you can learn from other people. I can honestly say to you that before I stood here, I was put around people who had similar, and God wanted to expose me to where I was going. For those of y'all that are online, I need as many of you all that are online to share this. If you know of any entrepreneurs, if you know of any leaders, if you know of any family members that you know that the hand of God is on their life, I need you to share this. We're going to send it to them. We're going to make sure that we inform our people. There's a scripture that says, my people perish for the lack of knowledge, which means that you have to be in a learning seat so that you can receive the information. And tonight, I am excited to have a gentleman with us. We're going to bring him up, and we're going to have him to formally introduce himself. Come on up, Mr. Jory Lester. Come on up. Can you do me a favor? Can you stand to your feet? And let's receive him right now. Come on, let's receive him. Thank you for coming to New Life. This means a lot to us. Come on. I just smile because I just want to say this. You can have a seat. How many of us grew up with that pink lotion putting it in our hair? My assistant was like, the pink lotion man is coming. And she was like, my hair grew, my braids were all the way down here because of that pink lotion. So talk to me for a minute. Why don't you introduce yourself? Let's go there.
All right, my name is Jory Luster. I'm president of the Luster Products Company. I represent second generation management at Luster Products. And I have actually worked at Luster Products my entire professional career. I had other jobs in college and that sort of thing, but I started working at Luster Products as a salesman in 1975.
Wow.
And I grew up in the company, and I grew up with people in the company. And it's been a fantastic journey, I'm going to tell you.
So your father's name was Fred Luster, correct?
That's correct.
Tell us something that we need to know about your father and how he got started.
Oh, wow. Okay. Fred Luster Sr., now this was one heck of a dude, I'm telling you. He was born in Yazoo City, Mississippi.
Yazoo! He has a couple of relatives in the audience. Go ahead.
Due to some unfortunate circumstances, his family was forced to leave Yazoo. It was much like one of those stories we see on TV, that you better get out of town by sundown or else. And so they ventured up to Chicago, where my grandfather meandered around, and then he found work at the steel mill. And as my dad grew up, he did little jobs and whatnot. And at one point, he also got on at the steel mill. But what really was an unfortunate event that led him to his fortunes was he got laid off. And he had to find out what to do next, right, with a young daughter and a wife. And so my mom said, Fred, you know what? You can cut hair. Why don't you go to barber school and learn formally and pursue that, which he did. And he became one heck of a barber on the South Side. At that point, things were changing, and that's when the process hairstyle came into play for African American men. Okay, I know some of you don't know what I'm talking about.
I was about to say, you need to explain that, because we have some young people in here that don't understand what process is.
Well,
perms. Go ahead.
Back then, what led that style really were entertainers of the day. If you look at old photos of the Temptations, old photos of Nat King Cole, old photos of Sammy Davis Jr., that was a prominent hairstyle in the entertainment industry, and people that...
when their hair was slick, it wasn't
it was slick, but also you had the finger waves now.
Come on.
Hey, you had the finger
Malcolm
waves.
X movie. Go ahead.
And don't mention the Quo Vadis, you know. But if anybody who was anything wore their hair like that, you know, just like now, we emulate certain people in society and how they look and how they dress. The same thing back then. But my father's salon, or shop, should we call, became really famous for that process hairstyle. As a matter of fact, he had some famous clients. He had to go see them, but people like Sammy Davis Jr., Nat King Cole, people like that, those were his clients.
Wow.
And so he was good at his craft, and the salon was very successful. And so people wanted him to teach them how to do what he did. And that was the beginning of him moving toward Luster Products.
So tell me, what was the first product that he created?
The first product that he created was called Luster's Style Cream, which was a chemical hair straightener that you use to do that process style. A lot of people don't realize that back then, women were not necessarily getting relaxers or chemically straightened hair. It was almost exclusive on the women's side, press and curl.
Come on, hold your ear.
The chemical hair straighteners, they began to refine them. They became a little bit more mild and gentle, and before you know it, women were getting the chemical hair straightener just like the men and dominated. So there you have it. But what led him into business was those products were in short supply and some of the quality was shaky. And he said, you know what, I think I can do this myself.
So did he start out selling it in his shop and then it moved from his shop to the shelves of stores?
He started using it in his shop. And his results were so good, other shop owners came to him and said, teach me how to do what you do, and I want to use what you use to get the results you get. And so because initially, he only looked at his own consumption, and the 6 people that worked in his shop. But as people came to him for training, information, and to buy product, he said, there's an opportunity here.
Okay, question. So what year did he actually start the Luster hair product? What year?
1957 is when he started Luster Products. He started with chemicals, a drum, and a stick, where he'd stir the products in his basement. He'd fill them, he'd label them, and take them to work and sell them. But he did all the work himself. Amazing story.
Okay. How many years did he stay in his basement making this product before he realized that I need to get out of my basement and enlarge my territory?
I think it was about 2 years. So I want to say by 1958, he had opened up a storefront that was literally next door to his barbershop to make products. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with the area, but this was on 47th and Greenwood, the exact location where Little Black Pearl Workshop is today.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
The exact location.
All right. So you grew up in Chicago.
I grew up in Chicago, not that far from here. I grew up in Chatham. And you could find me any time of the day, and maybe even evenings, I won't say night, on 79th Street, right up the street.
Can you talk about, like, back in the day, Chatham was the pride of the black race in Chicago. What was it about Chatham that made Chatham stand out?
Let me say this.
Come on.
One of the things I remember growing up in Chatham, and it probably wasn't different from many other neighborhoods, was that growing up, your neighborhood was the safest place for you to be. You knew everybody. Everybody knew you. If you got out of line, I lived on 80th and Indiana. If I got out of line on 79th and Calumet, somebody called my mama. And they might pop me in my head and send me home. It was that kind of environment, nothing but love. And the other thing that I remember growing up in the 60s, everybody was happy. It was phenomenal because everybody could work if they wanted to work. People were at peace, but everybody was happy. And I relive those days and I look back and I say, wow, what could have been, should have been. But everybody was happy.
So born and raised in Chicago, what schools did you go to here in Chicago?
In Chicago, I went to St. Dorothy for grammar school, and then I went to Mendel Catholic for high school, Graduated Mendel in 1971. Should I keep going?
Go ahead.
Left
Your
there and
educational background.
went down to Bradley University in Peoria, Illinois. And then many moons later, I went back to school at Northwestern and got an MBA at the Kellogg School. And that's my educational career.
So when you graduated, did you immediately come back and become involved in the family business?
Well, that's a yes and a no, because I had to work after school and on Saturdays while I was in high school. When I was in college, I came home every break. You know, these kids, they take spring break and they go to Florida or wherever they go. I went to Luster Products to put labels on jars and load cases on trucks and stuff like that. I learned the business, worked from the ground up, my brother and I, you know, in every aspect of the business. So that consumed whatever free time I had while I was in school. It was when I graduated that my dad asked me, would you like to come to work for me? And I thought about it for about 15 minutes. And I said, sure I would. But you know what, to make sure just that I was secure within myself, I floated a few applications and got hired a few places. And then that let me know that I had a worth outside of that, and I felt a lot more pride going to work for Luster Products.
How many siblings do you have?
I've got two siblings, a brother and a sister.
Do they all work for the company as well?
My sister's recently retired. My brother, you know, he works in the company with me. So
What's the hardest part about working with family members?
seeing things eye to eye, working at the same pace, and just, you know, it's interesting working with people who have just as much right to be there as you. And, you know, sometimes you don't see eye to eye on the same project, and you have to learn to work it out. I think one of the things that I learned, and one of the things my dad taught me, was that you don't have to fight every fight. You don't have to win every fight, you know, to move forward. Sometimes you step back for the sake of moving forward, and it lets things go smoothly. And so that's been one of the more valuable lessons that I learned. But our family members, I tell you, man, everybody brings a contribution. And so it's really been a phenomenal kind of scenario that everybody brings something to the table. One of the things that he did do, though, Dad did do, he made sure that we didn't cross over in our disciplines. I'm a sales and marketing kind of guy. My brother is a chemist, and my sister was an IT person, is an IT person. So we had different disciplines, and we had less opportunity to trip over each other. So it worked out very well, very well.
So you talked about how your parents, when you were spring break, they made you come, your work ethic. Did you get your work ethic from just the small jobs or the responsibilities that your parents gave you? I'm watching a generation that are not given responsibilities. So their work ethic is different. Did you get your work ethic from your dad?
Ultimately, I had to get it from him. You know, he was a hard worker, and one of the things he taught me is that the only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary. You've got to earn it. And so I've taken that to heart. You know,
Can you say that one more time?
The only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary. And he believed that. But you know, he was a unique person. He was selfless. He was a hard worker, but he rewarded you for working hard, and he chided you for slacking off. You know, he was one of those personalities that at the end of the day, because of how he treated his people, you'd walk through a wall for him. He was a consummate leader, even though he had limited formal education. But he had a PhD in what he did. Very sharp, very smart. The other thing that my dad taught all of us, which was critically important, he had a unique set of values. He learned to treat people how they wanted to be treated. He was a fair and honest dealer. I don't care what the scenario was. And he was the same when he was not as well off as when he was well off. He just treated people fairly and straightforward. Now, he would tell you when you were out of line. He had no problem putting you in check. But by the same token, the other side was always there. If you did right, if you did well, he patted you on your back, patted you on your head, and rewarded you. And again, it made you want to walk through a wall.
Okay. I want to talk about the process, because you say he started in the basement and then he went to a storefront. How long did it take before he was citywide, nationwide?
Let me say this. My dad's story is truly like an Horatio Alger kind of story. He was like B.B. King. B.B. King said it took him 20 years to become an overnight success. And that was real. He worked hard for a lot of years before he really tasted any part of real success. But that just allowed him to appreciate it when it came, you know?
I need you to slow down, because this is not a generation that's going to wait 20 years. Are you telling me that he stayed with the product and kept improving it before it literally took off, and it took years for that to happen?
It took years. You know, quit was not in his vocabulary. Can't was a curse word as far as he was concerned. And he was not going to be denied. You know, the way he looked at it is he didn't fail, he just hadn't succeeded yet. And it just took him time. You know, there were a lot of years when he was pouring into the business his heart and soul and energy, but that barbershop was feeding his family.
So the product wasn't feeding his family, it was the barbershop.
Yes. But, you know, sometimes you get lucky, and lucky is always where opportunity and preparation meet. And so he got to a point, and things began to take off because, you know, he hit that right nail on the head at the right time, and it made all the difference in the world.
So what was the big break? What was the deal that it was like, we out of here now?
He created a product called S-Curl. And it was a very, very...
Hold on, wait. Your father created the S-Curl?
S-Curl. Back then it was S-Curl, the man's look. Absolutely. And
I did not know this. I've never had an S-Curl. It looked really greasy. Listen.
Well, I wore one, and I got plenty of
You had to
compliments.
wear it.
Well, no. Well, okay.
So let's talk about it. You got paid for wearing it. Listen to me. So that was the break for him.
That was a break.
How many years had he been in business before he came out with the S-Curl?
He started in 1957. S-Curl hit in 1980.
And when the S-Curl hit, it hit.
It hit. It hit
Were
large.
you all ready for the hit? Because you didn't have the staff. You couldn't tell me you didn't have anything. So when the hit came, how did you all gather things together to ride the wave?
You know what? I can't explain that. But as I said, his many years of toiling readied him for that time. You know, he was a master with a dollar, because at that point, banks weren't lending money to black businesses unless you had already made it. They weren't lending money, you know, and so everything was a challenge. Credit from vendors, making sure we had adequate space and equipment, but he was a master with a dollar, and his integrity carried him a long way, because as he treated people right, they remembered and they spoke up for him. I can't explain it, because I don't know that I could duplicate that. You know, as a young person, one thing that young people have in common, we all think that older people don't know nothing. And I was not that different. Dad should do this, Dad should do that. He did. Man, I look back at some of the things he did, and I'm telling you, I shake my head to this day. How did you know to do that? Timing was impeccable, and so how he managed to, funding growth with a business and fast growth is a tough proposition because everything happens ahead of collecting your money, everything. And so it's a very difficult proposition, but he mastered it. That's all I can tell you.
So what would you say to someone that says, I have a small product and they believe in it? What would you say to that person that would encourage them to keep working it?
Well, the first thing is it unique to the other products on the marketplace, and what are the unique attributes?
What's different about you?
What's better about it, right? And the second thing is, do they have the passion to withstand? Because everybody's going to tell you, they're going to question why you're doing this. But as long as you have vision and passion, you know why you're doing it. If you have vision and passion and you know that you have a point of difference, you'll make it work. You'll make it work. Now you have to manage your resources, right? Because you're going to need everything. When you start and you hit with a little bit of success, I don't think that's the time to go out and buy a Mercedes-Benz, right? Because you have to reinvest in yourself and reinvest in that business and reinvest in your spirituality. One of the things I've learned about that, I know I'm getting off script a little bit.
No, you're okay.
But that, when times get tough, that spirituality will carry you through. It will carry you through because it gives you faith that you can continue to move forward in the face of all obstacles.
So right now, your company is now third generation. How have you held out from other races or countries buying you out?
Well, in order for them to buy you out, you got to sell. And so, we are committed up to this point to our dad's legacy, right? The reason he went as long and hard as he did, he wanted to create a legacy for his family. He wanted a place for his kids to work. And so he made us promise that we create a place for our kids to work. And so here we are. It's a struggle because the world has changed and everything has gotten what we call tougher, but I don't think anything is as tough as what he went through. But things are tough and you've got to fight through. So we resisted because we want to honor that legacy.
So he's left a legacy. Can you tell us what would you desire that your legacy would be?
That's not something I think about often, but what I'd like to be said about our company is that it's a great place to work, that we make a difference in how people feel about themselves or use our products, that our coworkers feel like it's a great place to work, that our vendors feel like we're a great partner, and so on and so forth, and that we left the world a little bit better than we found it. And that's what I want to happen as a direct result of what we do at Luster Products.
All right. So now that you sit in this top seat, this head seat, how would you describe your leadership?
I got a few coworkers out there. I probably want to ask them that. But,
Can we get a microphone in the audience, please?
No, don't do that. It might not go right. I don't know. Okay. My leadership style is knowledge-based. I try to know what I'm talking about before I talk. I try to help my coworkers to be the best and do the best that they can in the environment. I try to equip them to succeed, and I want to win.
In that seat that you sit in, anybody that sits, my counselor said something to me. He says, those at the top always get blamed from those at the bottom. It's going to always be your fault. How do you deal with the pressure of sitting in that seat?
Well, you have to accept it, and you have to always try to do your best, and you have to be concerned about your people. You really have to be concerned, that they are feeling where you're trying to go, that they're feeling part of the whole. I've been blessed, we have been blessed with some great coworkers, really. I mean, we have a few of them sitting out in the audience, and they're just great people, and they don't, just like I don't want to disappoint them, they don't want to disappoint me, they don't want to disappoint the people that work for them. That creates a great environment because it makes people feel that they're part of something. Although my name is Luster, and my wife's name is Luster, and my children's name is Luster, I bet you we got 200 people that work in our company who feel that they're a Luster, which is really important.
How do you deal with a person that came and joined your company, but they didn't take on the Luster spirit?
Well, they may not hang around too long because that's going to reflect in the output that they give. We need everybody giving output to move us forward, and that's going to reflect. It really is. And it's unfortunate that that happens periodically, that people just, it's not for them. By the same token, one of the things that I'm proudest of, man, we have so many long-term employees. Oh, I don't know how many people we have that have been there over 20, 25, 30 years. We do. And that's a testament.
That is a testament.
That's a testament.
Is it hard for you to say no?
No. No, because if you're saying no for personal reasons, that's one thing. If you're saying no for the good of the whole, that's a whole nother thing. If something is not within the best interest of the company, it's easy to say no and to stay on track, because every idea is not a good idea. But we encourage people to come up with their ideas so they can make a contribution, and they're prideful in their contribution to the company.
So let's talk about you. What is family life like with you? You're married. How many years you been married now?
I've been married 12 years to that lovely lady out there in the pink dress.
Come on here.
And family life is good. I mean, really, it's good. I get a hot meal every now and then.
Come on here.
But she's a hard-working person in herself. She's an entrepreneur too.
Okay.
And so we have a blended family, 5 children, and everybody's of age. Sometimes kids will come to me and you say something to them, and they say, "Wait a minute, I'm grown." I said, "No, you have age." I won't explain what that means just yet, but grown means
you're on your own.
Something's kicking back to me. Just thought I'd throw that out.
That's good.
But it's a loving family, a loving environment. We're all spiritual, and that helps. It helps a lot. And it helps with the understanding, helps with the communication. It just helps to endure.
Okay. So when you need a break, how do you relax?
I don't know what a break is, but
this is good.
Some of the things I do, for years I did martial arts, and I'm an avid bike rider. I love to ride a bicycle. But my latest venture, I got 2 lovely grandchildren. Man, that's the coolest thing since sliced bread, man. Oh, my goodness.
Have you spoiled them?
Oh, all I can. As a matter of fact, not only do I spoil them, I tell their parents, I don't care what kind of punishment or what's going on. When they come over here, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Papa, they want candy, get candy. You want cake, get cake. You want fruit, whatever. We're going to watch the TV they want. The punishment can start when they get back over there, but I'm in charge over here. But that is just, you talk about something that's just a total blessing in our lives.
Okay, I want to talk business for a minute. What did COVID teach you about the survival of a business?
Man, COVID is still teaching us, because we went through the period where it looked like we were going to have to shut down, but my brother said, wait, let's produce hand sanitizer. which we did, which made us an essential business, and we didn't have to shut down. We could keep on going, which was incredible. But when you look at the effects of COVID, one, you had to be very careful because it was highly contagious. We had to create a safe workplace where we had to work spaced out. We had to create barriers. We had to make sure that we stayed sanitized and prayed up, I guess. I don't know. But we had to change everything. And the other thing is the trust of your coworkers. You want them to feel comfortable coming to work, and they're not going to come if they don't think the environment is safe. So we did a lot along those lines. Aside from that, you had supply shortages because a lot of places shut down. You had transportation problems. We had a lot of goods, materials that we were getting from China. And all that slowed down because China shut down for a while. And so you had to figure out how to service your customers, how to get your materials, how to do all of this stuff in a disruptive environment. Post-COVID, you had this hyperinflation that came in, and before you knew it, you were spending a lot more than you had planned on your materials and on stuff. It's still a challenge as a direct result of COVID.
You said something. You said when COVID came, products slowed down, and then your brother said, let's do hand sanitizer.
Absolutely.
So it seems like you're always looking for an opportunity to evolve.
Well, in that case, it was a survival opportunity, but you're always looking to evolve. That's what happens over time. You evolve. But that was survival. Because if we had to shut down for a length of time during that period, it might have been really crippling. So he was resourceful and creative. And it wasn't an easy task because we weren't the only one with the bright idea to make hand sanitizer. Alcohol was hard to get. The right type of containers were hard to get. Pumps were hard to get. Closures were hard to get. So we really had to buckle down and figure that out. But we did. God was with us.
Just a few more questions. What advice would you give to an aspiring entrepreneur? Somebody that says, give me 3 things that you would say to an aspiring entrepreneur. I want to start a business.
You let them know that they've got to be passionate. They got to love what they're doing. The only way you can survive a business and succeed is you love what you're doing. You have to be resourceful. You have to have a tough skin because you're going to hear more no's than you hear yeses. But you got to survive that, and you got to convince people that you have a good or a service that's going to benefit them, that they'd be better off with than without. You have to learn from your experiences, and you have to be ready to pivot because sometimes that initial idea isn't the one that's going to send you over the finish line or the start line. Sometimes you have to pivot. But when you get in whatever game you're in, you'll see the opportunities. It might not be what you thought you saw, but you'll see them. They'll pop out of the woodwork at you, and you have to be ready to pivot. That's a rare set of qualities that you have to have. And the other thing is your values have to be spot on. If you do something that infringes on someone's trust, you're not going to succeed. You have to really be straightforward and honest and fair in your dealings. Honest to a fault, fair to a fault. Because if you're not, that reputation is going to move 10 times faster than the good part. People will buzz, and now we're in the age of social media. Oh my God. That information, that bad news travels really, really fast. So you have to be honest, you have to be fair, you got to know your business, you got to be ready to pivot, and you have to have vision, and you have to have passion.
All right, just 2 more questions. At your level of success, who do you go to for advice?
That's a great question. Coming along, I really had some great mentors who were really willing to share. Beside my dad, You know, I could go to people like John H. Johnson, and he would share. I could go to people like George Johnson. He would share, Coma Cottrell. Different people that had really, in my estimation, achieved success far beyond where we were. But one of the things that I've noticed, and I tell a lot of young people, that when you're coming along and you are a fledgling entrepreneur, talk to people. You'll be surprised. You might not think that they'll share with you, but they will. And a lot of times they'll be honored to share with you, even if you're in a competitive business. So now those guys have moved on, but I talk to people that are in business and really probe them about what they're doing and how they do what they do. And it doesn't matter what level they are at, because everybody's got something to offer. Everybody's got something to share. Sometimes I have issues that I can only talk to the man upstairs about, you know, and he hadn't let me down yet. So, but the thing that you want to do is just talk to folks that are going where you're going or have been where you want to go. And they will more than likely, 9 times out of 10, they'll share willingly with you.
Okay. After this, what advice would you give to the next generation?
You know, there's no substitute for hard work. But hard work alone will get you tired. It's got to be smart work too. You know, you got to look at, where are my problems? How do I solve them? You have to have a goal orientation. You can't do just for the sake of doing. Every plan has to have a destination. Where am I going? Where's that path? Where are the steps? How do I order my steps to get there? You know, and if you have a goal orientation and you have a vision, 9 times out of 10 you can move forward. Without those, you won't move forward. And so when we talk now internally, had a meeting this morning, you know, about a plan. I said, no, stop, give me the goal. If that plan is successful, what would you have achieved? So think about that, and once you can give me that, let's go back and rework your plan and the proper steps to get there. There's no substitute for planning. There's no substitute for goal orientation. One man told me one time, businesses don't plan to fail, they fail to plan. And so what we have to do is really have a good knowledge base as to where we're going, and really then order those steps to get there. 9 times out of 10, you'll be successful in your endeavors.
Every plan has to have a destination.
Every plan has to have a destination.
What I'm saying, people, the destination is just to make money.
No, money is a byproduct of doing something successfully. You look at money like votes, right? And you get votes if you do something successful. What is that thing that you have to do that's successful? That's what earns you money. If you're chasing money, you'll never get it. You'll never get it if all you're doing is chasing money. You have to be fulfilling something. You have to really reach a goal. And my goal could be to make people feel good about how they look, right? And so how do I do that? I have to understand where it is they're trying to go and what it is they want to achieve. What would make them feel good about how they look? Then I go about doing it. But if my goal is to go out and just sell 1 million jars of something, I'll probably sell 2. That's it. You know, what you want to do is get people feeling good. And the thing about, if you get people feeling good about what you have to offer, a couple of things are going to happen. They're going to come back to you, and because they like what they got from you. But the other thing that's even more powerful, they're going to tell other people who are going to come to you.
Last question. How does your faith play a role in your success?
Man, let me tell you something. I have been through, as a young man, I claim that, guys. I've been through some things that I think are really challenging. Nothing got me through but faith. Nothing got me through but faith. I can remember just being in a spot and I didn't know. I just didn't know. But I put it on those big shoulders. And I had faith, and he led me to a better place. That's all I can tell you. You know, faith is so important in life because there are gonna be things that you can't explain. There are gonna be things that jump on you that you can't do nothing with. And it takes faith to see your way through that. Because as a mere man, you can't see your way through. You can't fight your way through. It takes that uplift. So I mean, that's probably the most important aspect of my life.
Do me a favor, can we just celebrate him right there? Can I get everyone in the building and online, can I get you to type the name of your company online in the comment? And everyone in the building, and you are the head of something or you own a business, can you meet me on the altar? Can you meet me on the altar? Wow. This is major. This is major. So what I've learned, and I want to challenge you all, before you leave here, you got to grab your nugget. Everything might not apply to you, but something has to apply. And everyone right now, I need you to take a minute and decide what nugget did you just get. And one of the things that he said was every plan has a purpose. And money cannot be your objective. And some of us, it's just been about the dollar, the dollar, the dollar, the dollar. And I need you to ask God to flip your script. That he can show you the plan and the purpose. And your purpose can't be self-centered. If you notice something that he said, how do I make people feel good about themselves? So whatever your business you have, you're pouring on someone. Question is, what are you pouring? And how are they feeling about your services? Do me a favor, if you're in the building, just say the name of your company right there. Just speak it out. Just speak it out. Just speak it out. It's so many businesses that are in this building and so many businesses that are online that this is billions of dollars represented right now. How many people, out of the years that your company has been in business, about how many employees total do you think you guys have had? Thousands. So thousands of families have had the privilege of eating and living because of one man's obedience. Do you see what I'm saying to you? Thousands.
I just want to share this. My dad started his business. I left this part out with a $500 loan, right? There's many businesses that did at that time. You know, they got angel money from somewhere. He got $500. And so with that $500, he bought what he bought, he did what he did, right, and started this business. But in retrospect, that $500 allowed his company eventually to employ accountants, to employ engineers, to employ chemists, to employ IT personnel, to employ HR personnel, and let's go on the other side, to employ mechanics, to employ carpenters, to employ masonry people, plumbers, all from that $500 that he invested, that was invested in him. And so just think about not the short term, but the long term. You know, the reason that we want to support businesses in this room is because of the power that business has to change the fortunes of people. It's not just that person, but it's all that whole ecosystem. And I tell you, when I look back at what has happened as a direct result of that $500, hell, I went to college, you know? And you can go on and on and on. One of the things my dad he would be tickled about, he'd come to me, you know, he said, man, do you realize I got this application on my desk? Do you realize that so-and-so can buy a home because they work here? Or someone with a loan for a car? Or whatever the case may be, because they work. He was so prideful of that. He was more prideful of that than the fortunes of the company itself. It was really about the jobs he created and the support that he gave to people. Not to mention, his proudest moment was he felt his company was a beacon of hope for members of the community who say, man, if Fred could do that, I can do it too. I can go in business myself. So,
it's so much that could have stopped your father. One of the things that you said was that he even had limited education. He only went to the 6th grade. He got a $500 loan, but he hired thousands of people. And at one point, the net worth of that product of their company was what? It went from 500 to, don't be ashamed now, how many million? Let's just say millions. A lot of millions that started with 500. Just $500. How many of y'all know that you wasted $500? So, question, the next time God put that seed in your hand, what you gonna do with it? The next time God put that seed in your hand, how you gonna grow it? The next time that God put that seed in your hand, please don't dress with it, don't eat it. I need you to figure out how to work that seed. And it can't just be about you. Everybody over here say, I will have employees. Come on, say, I will be a blessing to thousands of people. Come on, release the name of your company one more time. Say it out loud. Say it out loud. Let's just celebrate Mr. Lester. Thank you again so much. Thank you so much.
God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Lift your hands right now, and I'm going to pray for favor to be on your company. For this is a record-breaking year. I need you to hold on to that. This is a record-breaking year. Please, guys, watch me. LeBron James just did what? Broke a record. Beyonce went to the Grammys and did what? Broke a record. It's almost like God has said, I'm showing you in the natural so you can believe in the spirit. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, open your mouth and declare, this will be my record-breaking year. Come on, say it again. This will be my record-breaking year. So lift your hands and close your eyes and just start saying, yes, Lord. So God, I pray now for every company in the building and online. I pray, God, that you would put favor on every individual. I pray, God, for a Joseph anointing to be on every company, every individual, that wherever they put them, you are with them. I pray, God, increase right now. Increase right now. I pray, God, that you begin to release wisdom on every individual that is listening right now. I pray that you would give them wisdom on what to do and how to do what needs to be done. We come against every negative force, every negative spirit. I pray, God, now that you begin to energize each person, that they get their drive back. Come on, y'all, you need your drive back. That you get their drive back. We come against the spirit of procrastination. We bind up the spirit of laziness. We come against blaming somebody, God. But all things are about to work together for our good. So come on, y'all, just begin to say, have your way, God. Come on, tell them again, have your way. Come on, lift your hands again. Say, yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. For God, you have given each of them a gift, a skill, a talent. And God, I pray, God, that you begin to increase every area. I pray for applications to come. I pray for resumes to be pulled. I pray for loans to be released. I pray for space to be occupied in the name of Jesus. And we decree and we declare that this is our record-breaking year. Your name has favor. Your gift has favor. Your skill set has favor. Come on, say it again. This will be my record-breaking year. If you believe that, put a praise behind what you just said. Come on, put a praise behind what you just said. For every business owner that's up here, I need you to touch and agree with at least 3 more people. Grab their hand on your way to your Satan and say, this will be our record-breaking year. This will be our record-breaking year. This will be our record-breaking year. The right person is about to get my product. The right door is about to open. Your next creation is going to be your takeoff. This will be my record-breaking year. You should just keep saying that. This will be my record-breaking. This will be. I pray for those that are in the clothing industry. I pray for those that are in the hair industry. I pray for those that are in the interior design industry. I pray that God begin to put favor on everything that you touch. That whatever you set your mind to do, that you do it. I hear this, bless the Lord at all times. Everybody that had any form of what you thought was a failure, I need you to release a praise for that. Come on, release a praise for that. It didn't stop you. It didn't shut you down. It was a learning experience. This will be your name is about to be brought up. Your finances are about to be released. A door is about to be opened. Please put a praise behind what I just said. This will be my record-breaking year. Get your passport. Write the vision. Make it plain. Get your business proposal. Who will you market to? Come on, I hear the Lord say, pray for clarity. Be specific. And testimonies will come from this service. That 30 people in 30 days see a miracle. People in 30 days. There we go. We're about to get ready to leave. But everybody that knows that God just planted a seed. Somebody, you had the seed, but God just watered it. You in the right place at the right time around the right people. seat for 1 minute. I want to push some of you all. I want us to get a seat in our hand, get our tithes and our offering ready. For every business owner, I can't explain this, I just hear it. I want you to sow $30 into your business. In the memo part, I need you to put the name of your company, your business. Every business owner, you sow $30 into your company. In the spirit, you're sowing. And I pray that within 30 days, that you see results. 30 days, you see results. You're going to hand your product to one person, and it's going to be a wrap. One person is going to weigh your stuff, and it's going to take off. Come on, y'all better think big. One person going to see you do what you do, and your company's about to take off like your life can change suddenly. You got to believe that. We walk by faith. If you don't have the 30, you get the best seed you can. Everyone sow. Everyone sow something. Everyone sow something. Yeah, come on now. Sing a song on our way out the building. Come on now. Come on, get your seed. Those online, you can text and give. You text the words NOCSE to 91694. Can you do me a favor? Can you take our guests to the reception area where we have something for them? Who am I talking to? Rashida. You can take them. Take our guests. Come on, stand to your feet with your seat. Those online, you can text and give. If you want to go to our website, newlifesoutheast.org, you can give. Those that have envelopes, you can raise your hand. We can give you an envelope on your way out the building. You could put it in the deposit boxes. We're going to take them to the back where we have a reception for them. I want y'all to hear me. I am so determined to see you make it. Like every time I get wind that some of y'all that you taking off, it puts a smile on my face. That I live to see you make it. You got to hear me. So when I start bringing in people, I have to bring in people just to expose you. And some of y'all, you better grab the oil that is in the house. Before God put David in the seat of the throne, he had to be in the palace serving Saul while he sat on the throne. Some of y'all, God's going to bring you in the room with your future. You got to hear that. I'm bringing you in close proximity of your future. I need you to hear them. I need you to watch them. I need you to see how they move. I need you to see how they communicate. I need you to grab whatever nugget that you need to get from them. And once you get your nugget, you have been released. Some relationships are only drive-bys. You'll never see them again, but you got your nugget. How many of y'all got your nugget tonight? Don't play with me. Don't waste their time. Don't waste my time, and don't waste your time. And some of y'all that were getting discouraged, you got to listen to what that man said. We all up here shouting about that pink lotion when it was that S-curl. That S-curl launched that man. That thing was all over the world. Michael Jackson had an S-curl. Somebody gonna have your stuff too. You better hear me. You better hear me. So I'm begging you all, whenever we do these, we're gonna do another one, I think on the last Tuesday. We're still working out the guests for that. But everybody that I bring in here, I'm bringing them in so that they can pour. I can't force you to receive it. But I can bring you around it, and hopefully you can get it. You got to hear me. How many of y'all know that God had you in the right place at the right time? Do me a favor. Lift your seat up to the Lord. Repeat after me. I'm a tither and a giver, and I am blessed beyond measure. I have more than enough. I'm living in my overflow. I am living in Ephesians 3:20. How long you living it? For the rest of my life. On your way out of the building, you can sow your seed. Those online, you can sow your seed. And we are excited, all right? They're going to take us on out. Come on. Y'all give God a hand praise. Valencia will be back on Sunday. Come on in. I'm going to sing with y'all. Move over, Robert. Y'all ain't ready. Sing some of that.
The Lord Most High is mighty, great in power, all is He. He shall subdue the heathen and place nations under our feet. He shall subdue them with the sound of the trumpet and the shout of victory. Come on, people, put your hands together, praise our God and King. The Lord Most High is mighty, great in power, for is He. He shall subdue the heathen and place nations under our feet. He shall subdue